What's up, everybody? Rob Wilson here with an update from my trip to Chi-Town, where I was out there for the National Black Chamber of Commerce convention. But while I was out there, I had the opportunity to do a little bit of sightseeing, go around and see some of the famous landmarks in the city, do some reflection at the top of the Willis Tower, where the view is absolutely amazing. You guys, make sure you get there sometime. I also took the opportunity to hobnob with some political figures. Here I am with Governor Pat Quinn of Illinois. We heard some words from Mayor Rahm Emanuel at the conference, and we also had this fantastic boat cruise where we were able to take in this beautiful skyline of the city of Chicago. But eventually the time came to get down to business, and I facilitated one of my wealth building workshops. You know, we have to go and help people get their money right. And I also had an amazing opportunity to facilitate a panel discussion with David Otunga from the WWE, J. Alexander Martin, co-founder of FUBU, Chef Roble from Bravo TV, and supermodel, star of Celebrity Apprentice and Deal or No Deal, Claudia Jordan. And she was nice enough to sit down with us for this interview on the Movers and Shakers podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back, Movers and Shakers podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Rob Wilson, coming to you live from Chicago, Illinois, with businesswoman, supermodel, Claudia Jordan. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So first question is, when did you decide that, this is sort of the career path that you wanted to go down?
You know, I always thought I was going to be a scientist. I thought I'd work in a lab and I was going to be the one to cure cancer. As a child, I asked for chemistry sets and microscopes and telescopes. I was always in ponds getting water samples and, oh, that's a paramecium, that's an amoeba. Like, I was a straight up science nerd. I went to college and I just decided to try to write with the newspaper just for fun. And my first article, one of my teachers approached me and said, "You are really talented as a writer and you should really pursue this." And I was like, really? And it was that teacher that kind of gave me that confidence and like that boost to kind of switch. So I switched my major to broadcast journalism, got with the radio station, and kind of, it didn't happen overnight. It just definitely took a long time, but I've been in the entertainment business with more towards the hosting.
So what was sort of the tipping point where you started to get a lot of notoriety and national type exposure?
I think I was modeling. I was on The Price is Right at the time, and a producer named John Johnson, I credit him with giving me the person that gave me my first kind of break, took a chance on me with no television experience as a host. He put me on a show called Ballers with John Sally and Hugh Douglas and Guy Torry. It was on BET. It was a sports show. It was originally going to be myself, Deion Sanders, and another guy. But anyways, it was on BET. It was a very grown, fun sports show. It didn't last because the budget was really high. But the ratings were decent. But BET was a little bit, they lost money. So anyways, he gave me my shot, and from that, I was able to put a reel together. Then I had a show on the Style Network for 2 years. And then kind of one thing led to the next. And before I knew it, I was hosting the Miss Universe Pageant, which I had come full circle because I started in pageants. So it was like a sentimental moment for me. And, especially being a woman of color, hosting such a mainstream, huge pageant, that's like the Super Bowl of pageants.
Exactly.
And it's huge in Europe and Asia and South America and Africa. It's everywhere. So it really, really was like, wow, I can't believe I'm here.
So how did you you were at the radio station, and then how did Price is Right even come about?
I was out in LA kind of struggling, modeling, little jobs here and there. It was tough. I mean, I really wasn't making any money, and an audition came for The Price is Right. And I knew they saw thousands of girls. They were replacing women that had been around for years, that were beloved. So I went in, and I remember the producer saying, "That's a pretty girl." And that really doesn't mean much in LA because everyone's a pretty girl. So they called me, and I was super excited and flattered because that's The Price is Right. Everyone's seen The Price is Right.
What do you think it was about you that made them say, "We've got to have her"?
I definitely wasn't the prettiest, the tallest, the thinnest, did not have the smallest waist, did not have big boobs. But I think they could tell that I would be easy to work with. And on a show, when you work on an everyday type of show, you have to really like who you're working with. Now, when you do these one-off projects, a photo shoot here, a commercial there, you can be a diva if you want to. But everyday work, it's like personality is just as important because you have, like I said, you have to like going to work. Because then it becomes stressful. People have anxiety to be around you. So I think it was that. And it was just, I fit in with the girls.
Yeah.
And I was lucky.
What's the most challenging thing about being in the entertainment business?
The most challenging thing to me is the criticism from people that are hiding behind their keyboards. I call them keyboard gangsters, and I feel like I think some laws need to be passed, but then it's also, okay, we've got the freedom of speech thing, we don't want to infringe upon that, but you can literally ruin someone's life and livelihood because of the things that you post online. And I know on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Deb, Waffle Flocka's manager, she was pushing for this no reckless internet posting. And I'm 100% with that. I've read horrible things about myself that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
If I met you and I just didn't like you for some reason, I can literally go online and launch an attack on your character, and sponsors and potential employees will see that, and they will not hire you because of that. And people say that celebrities should just brush it off and it comes with the territory. I did not sign up to be slandered and to have lies made up about me.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're really damaging. So to me that's the negative part of the business.
Is it hard to ignore it? I mean, you want to use it to promote yourself, but then you see those things. Can you just kind of shut that out, or no?
It's easier said than done. Where by human nature you're gonna be curious. Oh, let me see what they're saying. I want to see if they like me. And then you're like, oh my God. I tell my friends, don't tell me when there's negative comments, but then sometimes like a fan or someone may think they're just giving you the heads up. So they'll do it with pure intentions. And when you read it, it's just like, it's terrible. It's sad. I remember being literally depressed and having a stomach ache at my family reunion because I went in my grandma's room and used her computer, and I just looked up, I just wanted to look up, see what they were talking about. And it was so mean, and it was so not true. But if you ignore it, it kind of takes a life of its own, and then people start thinking it's fact. If you fight it, it makes it bigger, so what's the girl to do? Yeah,
you're in between a rock and a hard place.
Right, so the only thing I try to do is just combat it with just being positive. So anyone who has met me, they can say, well, that's not the person I met when I met her. She was nothing like that to me. But it will take a long time because that's the 326 million people in the country.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do.
That's right.
But
that's right.
I'm up for the challenge.
What's your advice for other young women out there, or men as well, who want to pursue some sort of role in the entertainment industry?
I would definitely caution them because it's definitely not like what it used to be. The industry has definitely changed. Modeling, the rates have dropped. Before, 20 years ago when I started off with no name in the business, $1,500 was standard for the day. And then now it has gone down because anyone will do it. So people start accepting 1,000, then 500, then 300, then free, and just credit. People just want to be seen now. We're in a very look at me kind of narcissistic person, society right now with Instagram and Twitter and all this. So people will just do the jobs for free. And then there's Photoshop, so you don't really have to, like, once upon a time a model had to be 5'9" and have perfect skin and great bone structure. Now it's not the case. We can just Photoshop all that stuff onto you.
Right.
So I would just say, know that it's a business, have a plan B, definitely, and not just waiting tables because, it costs money to make money in this business. You have to market yourself, photos. If it seems too good to be true, it usually is. I've been promised starring roles in huge budget movies, but I had to go to dinner with someone first, and that, didn't do it. And trust your gut and your instinct. Feel shady, don't do it. Take someone with you on your auditions, and don't take yourself so seriously. Look at it as fun, and I would definitely keep another source of income. I know it sounds a little negative, but I just want people to not think it's a fairy tale, and anyone that you see that seems to have success overnight, it usually was 10 or 20 years of a base being made. Vivica Fox, Neil, all those girls, like, they worked for a very long time before they really reached mainstream success.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of music videos and small little modeling jobs and little things here and there before they became movie stars. And anyone that comes out of nowhere, sometimes it's a little bit shady.
Yeah.
It may have been some fame scripts.
Okay, understood. Well, as a financial advisor, I appreciate you telling people that they need multiple streams of income. No matter how successful you are in that one, it can go away.
You can get a show where you're making $500,000 a week, an episode, which sounds like, oh, you'll never run out of money. Not the case. You got to pay your agents, taxes.
That's right.
People don't figure, okay, I made $1 million this year, but then your show gets canceled next year, so you still have to pay those taxes from last year, which is about $465,000.
That's right.
And I've known people who have gone bankrupt because they didn't factor in taxes.
Oh, no question.
They thought the show would go on forever. Professional athletes, they think their seasons will go on forever, and then they're left with nothing, which is the saddest thing. to be one of 500,000 people that makes it and then to not have anything.
To squander it.
To squander it. So it's like now I've definitely I've lost it all and gotten back twice. It's my third time.
Wow.
I've been lucky. But this time around, I'm so much more into my savings. I save like every check, something goes in savings, like, and not even like a 10%. Like I'm talking 30 and 40% of it. And I do that, and I'm looking, investments, things I didn't do before, and realizing that the end could be pretty near. I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
Well, you got to take advantage of it while you have the opportunity. So what's next for Claudia Jordan?
What's next is I am the new co-host of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Nationally syndicated radio show. I think it's in 70 markets. It's really an honor because Rickey Smiley, he came on the Foxhole a long time ago, Jamie Foxx's show, way before he blew up. And it's just great to see him progress. Kevin Hart as well. And he's got multiple streams of income. Talk about that. He's got Dish Nation, his syndicated radio show, and he has a Rickey Smiley sitcom.
Yeah.
So he's doing big things. So those are the kind of people I like to surround myself with. Smarter people, more successful people in the room because they inspire me and I just want to be like them. So I'm very happy that he gave me the opportunity.
And what's sort of maybe the end goal or the big hairy goal that you have out there?
The goal is to be living on an island while my multiple streams of income are just generating money and I can just sit back and drink as many pina coladas as I like. But
that's funny because that's mine too.
See, we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
But I like to have a talk show. I love kind of along the lines of what a Wendy Williams is doing. But I also like to cover